Hi, I'm Stuart Hobson. Behind me is Hobart's Mount Wellington and glimpses of the Derwent River. We're about 10k from the CBD. I know this area well. I walk here with our dogs most days. It's a dry sclerophyll forest on very poor dry soil derived from mudstone rocks. But each spring there's a surprising variety of bush flowers and shrubs. They are just in profusion all along this hilltop. And under the canopy of the assortment of eucalypts, the casuarinas and the wild cherries, live a complex and unique collection of life. After the flowers, the birds are the most obvious. The calls ring and the movements and the colours among the growth catch your eye. It's a surprisingly abundant web of life. My special delight is to walk through the Blue Forest. This is Eucalyptus risdoni, and here is the endemic site of this rare and threatened species. It's not a large tree, but its blue spinning gum leaves, white flowers, and the clean, beautifully toned bark allow it to stand out in any company. There is a similar species in other areas near here, but this is its natural home here in Tasmania. You won't find it anywhere else in the whole of the world. I think that gives this hillside a very special status. If you're lucky, you may see some of the other inhabitants. Bennett's wallabies, rufous wallabies, brush possums and ringtails are common. Not so common, and seen mainly at night, are bettongs, bandicoots, quolls and even Tasmanian devils. And in the rocky crevices, the leafy layers and the bark and debris are the hidden little creatures. And a hidden jewel or two. While high above, a wedge-tailed eagle. On March the 6th, 2006, as I arrived here, I was horrified to find clouds of billowing black smoke rushing up the gully here over the Fisher Saddle, driven by a really brisk northwesterly breeze. Local brigades soon arrived and worked through the night to safeguard property, and the next day I went to view the damage. The smell of the smoke and the ash was still very strong. Trees and logs were smouldering, and many blackened rocks were warm to the touch. We walked carefully. On the saddle and down the gully there was total devastation. On the ground, hardly a green leaf or blade of grass could be found. The dogs were nonplussed and moved about very carefully. And of course, I went and looked at the Blue Forest. Well, now a brittle brown forest, black and brown were the colours. And it was so quiet. except for the crunch of dead burnt leaves underfoot. A little further away, taller gums still carried green leaves above the blackened undergrowth and burnt lower branches. Some hope for the future, perhaps. The trunks of quite large trees had been penetrated by the fire, and the trees had crashed down. This one, on its back, branches reaching up for help. How many more, weakened, will fall in the months to come? Down in the gully, a chaotic mess of logs, limbs and branches, all felled by the fire. The undergrowth is totally gone. Grass is gone. And where are those harmless, timid animals? This small fire was very hot in places. How did those creatures which burrow and hide survive, I wonder? At the head of Shag Bay, the thick, lush vegetation around the creek bed, protection for so many animals, is gone. Walking on with some time to reflect, I wonder, will this little natural original patch of bushland, with all its variety of life, recover? Quickly or slowly? Will it ever be the same again? How many and how much of the diversity of its life will be able to return? What will the sun, the rain and the wind do to these dry, dusty hillsides before new growth appears again? Has something been changed forever? I think it has. On this poor bare soil, each fire takes an extra toll. Does anybody care? Does anybody care? Postscript. Teenagers, a campfire, a party. Here's how it started. Just a careless act. Does anybody care?